Yes, you're back with the group chat, and we are back for another episode this week. And we are joined today by the Heartbreak Kid himself, Tony Carroll. How are you doing, lad? You good?
Yeah, Sam, how are you?
Man.
Boys, yeah? All good?
All good, lad, yeah.
All good, yeah.
Good, mate. Up to have you in, man. It's I know you've been watching a couple of them, and
I have, yeah.
been wanting to jump in with us, and I thought,
Definitely,
great opportunity to get you in now. We're getting the ball rolling again. So I just wanted to kick this week's episode off by throwing out a little bit of an icebreaker question, really, for the both of you. And this one is, because we've got, obviously, the Heartbreak Kid with us, but we've also got our number one resident conspiracy theorist over here in Marcel. Okay. This one will be right up your street, yeah, so check. If, the eventuality of the impending lockdowns were never to be lifted, what would have been your doomsday plan?
Elaborate on that.
So you can escape, you can go off grid. What would be your route out of this current situation so you didn't have to put up with lockdown anymore?
I've not been put up with lockdown.
No, but on a serious, like if it was an apocalypse was to happen, then a worldwide apocalypse was to happen, and you had to escape. How are you escaping? What are your techniques? What are your tactics?
Do you know what I'd do?
Okay.
Do you know what I'd do?
Come on.
If it was like apocalypse,
Yeah.
I'd take over the Radio City Tower. That's where I'd base.
That's too close to home for me, that.
Nah, Radio City Tower, Greg's at the bottom.
Keep the Greg's open.
That's all I'm asked about. Not like seeing anything like what's going on, because the highest point.
You'd have had a sick vantage point there, though. You'd have been able to see where anybody was coming from. If anything, just barricade those doors.
Thought about this before, after watching like The Walking Dead and that, you know what I mean? I thought about
this is what I was thinking, like those type of programs and that, it'd be perfect if the zombies just going to be walking around, and I'm not talking about the masked zombies before you start going off on one. I'm just talking about actual zombies with all, the blood, the glow and all that kind of stuff. If they was to just come and roam into town now, what would be your escape plan? What would be your kind of plan B, plan A, really, yeah, anything?
Oh, that's such a dead answer, isn't it?
You've never thought about it, like, because I always, my thing would be straight up the M62, head into Scotland, find a big farm, kill the farmer, and then just literally barricade yourself off.
This sounds like the worst grafter ever.
Why is that?
It just sounds like a terrible plan.
How's that a terrible plan?
Straight up to Scotland, find a farm,
kill him.
Yeah, because anything goes at this point.
What about his family?
What about I just go up Snowden? We don't have to kill no one then. Let's go and sit up.
And how are you going to this thing's not going to blow over?
That's what I mean. You need something for supplies, don't you? I'm thinking Radio City Tower, because there's only one way in, one way out. So your exits. The years of Greg's at the bottom. That's not a joke. The years of Greg's there.
You know what? I have actually looked into this when we were talking about blackouts and that.
Go on then.
I don't know, but what I would do, and people underestimate this, like if there was a blackout, do you know how many people would be dead within a week or two? How many people do you go in and they shop for the day? Like, cupboards empty, no torches, no thermals. It's like we've all got a phone for about a day and then everyone's phone's dead. So contact done. You
need to get one of those hand radios again and get on a different frequency to try and communicate with people. I don't know what the right frequency is.
Cocoa
noodles.
No, peanut butter. That is the most calorie dense food. That keeps you going. Peanut butter and protein powder, and you're good, and rice. And that's pretty much all you need.
You'd be fucking fed up with that after a week as well, though. Well,
that's how I live. I'm fed up with it. I'm not fed up with it now. But no, like you could go for a long time and that.
So that then where are you going and where are you choosing? Or are you just going to stay in yours?
I go to the gym.
And barricade yourself in the gym?
Yeah. I'm an expert. Yeah.
That's no one's going to start the gym as well.
Yeah.
No one's going to bother me. I'm not going to bother nobody.
No one would really want to go there, would they?
No, I think that'd be the last thing. And you've got plenty of weapons if it push comes to shove.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Got a kitchen.
Yeah.
You've got
to cook your peanut butter.
Protein drinks, peanut butter. What? We're flying. Find me at the gym. There may as well be an apocalypse. Yeah, find me at the gym.
Right, well, I might jump on yours or Tony's then. Yours seems a little bit more reasonable. I'm going to end up burning through a lot of petty to get to Scotland to escape this shit. So, yeah, no, I think, do you know what? I think between the two, if I had to pick one of them, I like the idea of the Radio City Tower. I like the visual aspect of just seeing the whole city burn.
But yeah, that's all.
Not like I want the city to burn, but just like you could just see where it was like, nah, don't go over to Anfield anytime soon, or fucking swerve the end. Do you know what I mean? Like you could literally see it all.
And you'd have fresh combat zone storms at the bottom as well, isn't it?
You'd be sound of flooding. Do you know what I mean? There'd be no threats of flooding or nothing like that.
Yeah, true. And the exits as well. There is only one way in, one way out, isn't it? That lift.
So as long as you've got the emergency, I was going to say, as long as you got the, but then you could abseil down.
Yeah, worst
case scenario, if everyone was coming through.
You actually want to break the lift, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Essentially, once you're in it.
Okay, I'd stock up on peanut butter when I'd go and sit in the radio. There you go. The happy medium. I'd take a few dumbbells and some peanut butter. And we are going to kick back in Radio City.
The Radio City Tower. Sad. All right, well, you guys let us know if you had the doomsday plan for the apocalypse, where would you go? What kind of supplies would you be taking? Who would you take with you? Who's your wingman? Who would be the people that you kind of huddle up with? Let us know them type of things as well.
I'd take Darren G, me and Darren G in the Radio City Tower.
Would you try and get on the radio though? Because they've got all the equipment to get on the airwaves as well.
That's another thing as well, isn't it? You could try and get contact with someone else in the part of the country, you know what I mean?
I reckon you'd have a lot of people fighting for that space.
Darren G spitting bars down. Give me that back, Darren. Get back in your cage.
Oh, that'd be great. But no, on the brighter side of things, obviously today we've heard a bit of good news that I think's put a smile on a lot of people's faces, and it's the roadmap out of the lockdown that we've been in since Christmas. I haven't got any of the key dates to hand, but from memory, I think we're looking at the 8th of March for the schools to all go back, and then towards the end of around Easter, which is the 4th of April, and then the 12th is going to be non-essential shops, gyms opening again, and then they're going to be doing outside hospitality and catering as well. Yeah. So that should look to take place from around mid to late April, and then eventually with the big deadline of the 21st of June, everything.
Summer solstice.
Is that when it is? Yeah.
So summer babies appreciate that.
Yeah. So that is when they're meant to be lifting the majority of the restrictions. Holidays will be able to travel from May or something like that as well. So initial thoughts after the last 12 months, is that welcome news to both of you?
I just think believe it when I see it, to be honest. We were meant to be 3 weeks ago, wasn't it? It's only meant to be 3 weeks.
Flatten the curve, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Yeah.
It's one of them, isn't it? But don't get me wrong, you know, it's been long since this last lockdown. It's been a long few months, hasn't it? So it's nice to have that good news out there, and I think it's going to help a lot of people today mentally as well. You know what I mean? With having key dates is important, something to work towards. So fair enough, I respect what they're doing, the government, just for that, just by giving people time frames so they can work towards. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What about yourself?
I mean, it's good to have a date in mind, but as you said, I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah. At this point, I don't believe anything that gets said.
And this is why he's the resident conspiracy theorist.
That was so contained. Like, I condensed that answer down.
Yeah, no, but you can elaborate. So, as I say, like, for your own, again, both of you guys work in key industries that have been massively impacted over the last 12 months. The people that you work with, colleagues, friends, how can you imagine that they're receiving this type of news today?
Yeah, I think with my colleagues, I think everyone's, it's been positive, you know what I mean? It's, as I say, with having the dates at the end. And it just needs to happen now, because there's lots of small businesses and lots of independent bars that have put life savings in, and there's also key dates in next month with the budget, you know, announced. So we need that to support, you know, these kind of industries.
They're going to have to extend that till the summer apparently, because they realise it's going to be a phased approach. So if they do extend it bit by bit, that gives people the chance to get back on the feet, which I think is a key thing, really. Given the circumstances.
Hopefully they do that, because, you know, these small businesses, it's got to be a shame if they lost them, and the unemployment rate then will go massively, because especially in Liverpool, it's the hospitality industry covers a third of the jobs or something like that.
And tourism as well, like, you know,
exactly.
For match days and stuff like that, people coming overseas to come and watch the football, they'll be spending the whole weekend here. They've not been able to do that in almost 12 months now, so that's had a massive knock-on effect to a lot of independents, as you're saying there.
It's a good thing as long as we don't get put back into another fucking lockdown 3-4 weeks later. Like,
could you foresee that?
I wouldn't put nothing out of the question anymore.
True.
Yeah. Well, you're not wrong there.
I think the thing with our industry, like, all they've got on about is health. You know, the better healthy you have a better chance of being well equipped to fight the virus. And why shut gyms?
Yeah.
There never has been and never will be any evidence to back up why gyms were shut. And the industry has all clubbed together and used the evidence given to back itself, like we should not be shut.
I feel like gym owners have been like tarnished with a bad name as well over the last 12 months.
They've been signing it open,
yeah.
Yeah, because we tried to pave the way.
Yeah.
In a nation full of people that have just kind of been like, oh, okay, I'll accept crumbs.
Yeah.
We've actually stood up for what we believe in and at least had a go. So what? Even if we haven't made the change we set out to make, at least we've had a go as an industry.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, I think it doesn't help, but the need to do that when you've not been financially supported by the government is like, it's a huge thing then, isn't it? Like
I think even just take money away though as well. The gyms are so important for people's mental health as well. You know what I mean? And as Marcel said, physically as well. You know what I mean? The more fit you are, the more healthy you are, you defeat these viruses. You know what I mean? So to take that away, it's quite strange. It's quite strange why they couldn't do it.
In it, really.
Obviously, as you can tell, I'm not really a gym goer, but it's not the point. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people make a change and go in there. You know what I mean? I've done one health kick myself because of this, and you get to an age and you start thinking about your health, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, when you get, I'm 29 now, you know what I mean? I know I'm still quite young, but you get to that thing and you think, I have took the piss, I have abused my body, you know what I mean? And it was quite scary when all this come out, and people should have been left open, because what I seen in there, and I've got friends who are 24/7 gym outs, they were following every rules. These gym owners are spending thousands on making it safer in there. You know, and distance and clean environments. I just don't.
More.
And then
then we still got shut.
Yeah, and you go into Sainsbury's and there's people fucking all
fighting
over you, coughing on you.
And all that kind of
we don't go into Sainsbury's after that mask shit. Making it compulsory whether you were exempt or not.
Is that what they did?
Yeah. And then there was some man that got beat up, like they had trouble with the security and he's pressing charges, etc. Yeah, there was a big thing with Sainsbury's.
Fucking hell.
Sainsbury's and Morrison's, they were the two.
Fuck them then, innit?
Yeah, well, we don't shop in them anyway, so fuck them off. But yeah, planning things forward then, if we're looking towards the summer, again, I know you'll be excited for your summer plans. Hopefully now you can start to see them come to light a little bit.
My life's been on hold for too long. Hopefully I can get everything just kind of locked off.
Yeah. And as for yourself, can you foresee a big Ink reunion opening party?
It's going to be some party that, isn't it?
It's going to be going on.
It's going to be everywhere. Look, as soon as, can you imagine? Like last year, people thought, like, you know, we've had the lockdown, that's it, we're done. And the streets, it was like a festival. Yeah. Everyone was out on the streets.
Yeah.
Now that we've been through another 6-7 months of it, can you imagine what people are going to be
madness.
like?
Yeah. It's going to be madness, isn't it?
What do you reckon then with the likes of Ink and...
Mate, it'll be locked out on it, fucking 10 minutes after you open
lock off.
Yeah, lock off, yeah.
But I think people will be out on the street. People are happy.
Yeah, they will be,
be out
just be out and
it'll be summer.
Social contact with people, that's what it'll be.
Because that social distancing is going to have to go out the window at some point, isn't it, really? Like, especially when nightclubs and like the bars stay open till later.
They said that on that date, that hopefully there'll be no
more social distancing.
That's unless, that's if it doesn't, there's another new variant or whatever.
I feel like we're going to watch this back in 6 months and be like, oh, how gullible we were. We actually believed it. Like, we're going to lockdown 6.0.
No, but I think, as you were saying before, Tom, just that mental aspect of being able to see, like, people, I know there will be people sat at home tonight now planning that outfit.
Yeah, they are.
Boom.
Definitely.
Like, this is what I'm wearing that fair. And it'll be 2-3 different outfits for the whole weekend. Yeah. And they'll be out from Thursday night and they won't be seen until Monday morning or anything like that. Simply because it's just like, yo, now I've missed out for God knows how long. So I'm going to make the most of it now. And I can almost tell that there will be, you know the type of people that'll be out there yourself, do you know what I mean, where they'll definitely just be
some people will be absolutely making the most of it.
I don't blame them, to be fair.
It's not my go-to thing, but I can, you know, I'd be wanting to get involved and see people, because it's been that long where like everything's just kind of...
It's bad, isn't it, when you're walking down the street and that though, and people are like, you look at you and you make eye contact with you and just start moving away from you. And you're like, fucking hell, what's going on here? I think
you do notice people do that. Like, you'll see someone, you just be chatting and you can see people are stood at that little bit.
Just withdrawn. It's weird though, because they treated everybody as if we're all contagious rather than looking at people and being able to say, like, you're a healthy person, you're a healthy person. Like, just, I'm not, I wouldn't be afraid to go to your safe, say hello, have a conversation, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the clinically vulnerable should have been shielded, and then everyone else should have been able to crack on, and I do believe that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that was the way forward. But I think they've made a few mistakes, and hopefully now, after their mistakes, they can start.
They've got a whole 12 months to have learned from now. Like
that's what I mean. I'm hoping with this news that's come out today, it's quite positive in the fact that they're saying, here's the date, and hopefully this is over now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like negative, like after negative stuff. You know what I mean? It's quite positive. So we just gotta fucking cling on to that, like, because there's not much going on at the moment, is there? So
be you on the dance floor there?
No, mate, I'll be in that cage, me topless, mate. Yes. But you know what was just before the lockdowns and stuff, we were going through a bit of a transition. We think we always try and freshen up, even though the brand's been going about 5-6 years, and we try and make it a bit more current, you know what I mean, to the younger crowds and stuff like that. So
have you found not managing a bar and stuff like that and being involved in that side of things?
Yeah, it's been good, you know. It's been good. I enjoy that kind of work. I think I say I'm quite a social person, so this whole lockdown's been a nightmare for me. Like, you know what I mean. But you go through the emotions the first couple of weeks. You're like blaming everyone, and you're blaming governments, and you're going down the rabbit hole, and you're saying this is more than you. And in the end, the only
at this point I live in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, great. I've been here fucking plenty of times.
I think we all have though, but I think that's just because you want to find an ulterior narrative.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? When you get enforced with this one narrative, there's got to be more. There's got to be other people that think slightly different, and I don't really think that should always be blamed to be a conspiracy theorist in that sense. But
no, you shouldn't, and everything should be questioned as well, because they're there to serve the people. Remember, they're not there to serve us. They're not here to dictate. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So 100%. So everything should be questioned, and everyone's got the right to question things. You know what I mean? So I think yeah, I wouldn't say anyone's a fucking cosmic scouser or, you know, stuff like that when they all come out with the stuff.
I've heard them shouts a lot the last couple of months.
Let them question things, and everyone's got a right to question things.
Yeah.
But as with me personally, I went through the emotions, and in the end, I woke up one day and I thought, there's nothing I can do, me personally. But you go for the emotions, you think, oh, I can do this, or I can do that, or you can't do it. You can't do anything yourself. So the only thing,
look after self.
Yeah, the only thing you can do now is focus on you.
Yeah,
and that's what I've been doing this last lockdown, this latest lockdown now. Yeah. I've just thought there's nothing I can do personally, but there's one thing I can do is better myself and change myself, and that's what I'm trying to do.
So what with the likes of Ink, then what has been the kind of division? I know if you put a pin in lockdown and stuff like that, what was the kind of vision trying to move Ink forward? As you say,
we were trying to go a bit more current, and we were booking DJs from London and stuff like that. Some really good acts. Don't know if you know the likes of like Chucky online. Yeah, of course. He's absolutely brilliant. And we had residents from all over the country, and we were getting our retainers down. We were changing we had a good vetting policy. You know, there was never any trouble in Ink the past few years. Like, first few years, there's obviously your standard few scraps and whatever.
Yeah.
Touch wood, like I'm saying, when before the lockdown, everything was fine. It was getting better. The crowd was brilliant. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask you then. Do you remember that big brawl with those lads that were from? Was it the Navy or the Army when I used to work in Revs, and they come out one Christmas, and there must have been chairs getting through. All of your lads from Ink have come over the dorm and have come rushing over. But there must have been about 6 of these squaddies, 7 or 8 of them that was out on a night out, and they've just kicked off downstairs in Revs, so they've got chucked out. Yeah. And the next minute, it was like literally the whole square on TV.
The doorman from Ink went over, didn't he? To help out.
It was like they turned it into a war zone, and I swear there was chairs getting through from Peacocks over the road. They was kicking off.
It's never any locals, you know.
No,
honest to God, it's what it is. It's out-of-towners come to the city and just having no respect. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, you know, when I've been out to Newcastle or something like that, you're half worried about getting in, aren't you?
Yeah, because
you're like, am I getting in here or what? You know what I mean?
And you never know who anyone is as well.
Exactly. When you're in there, the last thing you want to do is fucking have a murder with someone, and they're the biggest head in Newcastle or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think
next when you got a blade in your neck. You know what I mean?
It's no joke though. That's
no, it's fucking that's what happens, though. Yeah. That's what happens.
And I think when you work in that environment and you're used to it, I think you just pick up a better etiquette than your average punter almost, do you know what I mean? Because, as I say, if you're in Liverpool and you're local, you know the local people, or you know the people behind the bar, or you know stuff, so you'll keep that level. Respect, you've got a little bit more respect, but when you go out of town, you might...
You're like, I'm only here for this weekend.
For the night, so who's asked, because you've got that mindset of constantly, you know how it feels to be that promoter, I know how it feels to be behind the bar, I'm not going to give them any shit or any lip or nothing like that.
To be honest though, lots that works on the front door as well, as you know, like, and that's what a big thing I was doing, you know what I mean, and you get a vibe off a group, you know what I mean, like of everyone, and if they're coming to the front door and they're very like haggy and you know,
paying to get in on a Saturday or something.
And just stuff like that, and you just say, you know, go and do a night somewhere else, you know what I mean? Because you don't want them kind of people in the club, because all it takes is you knocking into someone by accident. Sorry, mate.
And then you've got a brawl like that.
Yeah. So it's tough. It's a very tough job. What we do. It's very tough mentally on the night, because you can never switch off. That's the big thing in clubs. You can never. Say it's 5 to 3 and you're shooting at 3. You think, my night's done. I want to crack a beer open.
Oh, it's probably one of the worst times.
It's the worst, exactly. And I've learned that by experience, mate. You know what I mean? So you can't switch off, and even after work, you're so stressed out, you know what I mean? Because the night,
wide awake as well.
Yeah, and then you go home, you're wide awake because the adrenaline.
The noise in your ears is just popping for ages afterwards and stuff like that.
But don't get me wrong, on nights when you've got 500-600 people in, you've been to drink yourselves and you've seen some posh nights in there, and there's no better feeling when you've got a full club and it's the atmosphere's electric, like it's fucking, it's a good feeling to say, you know, I've got a part that I'm making people's night. So.
And how long have you been involved in, like, as I say, you kind of just grew...
I started as a PR, didn't I?
Yeah.
I remember, because I was working with you, wasn't I? Years ago.
Yeah. And, years and years ago.
And then I was just working my way up, just through the ranks, just hard working, just.
But it is putting those hours of grafting.
Don't get me wrong, mate.
Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and the Sundays. You know what I mean?
You remember, I'm still before all this. I was there 24/7, mate. Yeah. So, and that's what you've got to be. You've got to be all in. You know what I mean? But just think with that kind of work, it's, as I say, it's a very stressful job, like, but rewarding as well, which is mad. Everyone just thinks, like, on the outside it's like I piss up and it's not serious, you know. It's a proper career.
I think anyone that's worked in and around it, they'll know the levels of stress. And as I say, it's them. It fucks up your whole body routine as well. Do you know what I mean? You were saying before, you've been made up to get a sleeping pattern back.
Yeah, I have, and eating properly and having times to read up about my diet and what should be going in my body and what shouldn't, and even just the like amount of water and stuff like that. You don't know all this. You're waking up, you've had an ale after work or whatever, and you're rushing the next day and you're just getting takeout from somewhere, and it's just not good. You know what I mean?
Eating standing up on the go while you're doing a shift.
It's just mad. You eat when you have to, you know what I mean? Like when you've got time, you know what I mean? So, and you probably be able to touch on that more, you know, it's important what you put in your body, innit? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So and you just, you know what, sometimes you, after working nights as well, or you've had an ale or whatever and you're eating shite, you're just so lethargic and tired all the time, aren't you? You know what I mean?
I know from going from doing one to the other, when you clean that up, like the impact that it has on everything, how you feel.
Yeah, what I was saying to you before, I was saying to you before you got here, I was saying, I've never felt so clear-minded in my life because of these past few months.
You wake up and actually feel this is wheeling. You wake up and feel awake, as opposed to kind of waking up and feeling like...
Tired,
The only way I can explain it from personal experience, you wake up and feel as though you're full of shit food.
Yeah.
Whereas if you follow a diet of whole food, you look after yourself, you don't wake up, you come alive and you're like, right, like, what's about to go on with my day?
But you know what else I was finding as well? I was finding now this past few months with it being on a bit of a weight loss journey, is that I'm getting up and I need to piss, right?
Yeah.
Now, it sounds mad, but when you're just on a bad diet and all that, you feel like you're all clogged up, don't you?
Yeah.
Like inside, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're pissing regularly, which is good, you know, and then you think, I only used to have a piss like once a day, you know what I mean? Because you obviously, you know what I mean? Like you're obviously
just not cleaning your system and all
dehydrated, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? And you just, but now you start looking into it. It's really good, and someone like me, someone who knows me personally, I always just say, fuck that. I was always happy like the way I was, you know what I mean? But now, like, I'd never go back to the way I was. Not a chance.
That's good, man.
Not a chance.
As I say,
lockdown positives.
That's it. It's been tough for a lot of people, but I love hearing those stories of people that have had a chance to stop, pause for a little bit, take stock of
reflection,
where
and say, what the fuck was I doing there? You know what I mean?
100%.
And it's dangerous as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. So stepping aside from the nightclub vibes, one of your big passions is obviously being a comedian and doing the comedy side of things. Tell us a little bit about that. Talk to us about that life.
Yeah, with stand up. I was working in a council when I was must have been about 18. So about 10 years ago. I had a good job, really good job when I was 18. Come out of college and that, and I got landed myself in the council. And everyone says when you work at the council, it's a job for life, you know what I mean? And that fucking scared me, you know what I mean? That scared me. Seeing fucking Janice and that, and fucking Val over, and you've been there, like the desk, like across me, and they've been there like 40 years. They're saying, "Sorry, you got a job for life. You know, my pension's gonna be great." So I was like, "Fuck that." It's like this is not me. I done it for a couple of years, and then. My manager at the time, Charles, he was like my big boss. He got an email from Clare House Charity Children's Hospice, and it was like a 6-week stand-up course, and then at the end you perform, you know, for charity in the Marriott Hotel, and he signed me up for it. Me and Charles got signed up for it. And I went there, and there's a comedian there, and he teaches how to write like material and stuff like that. And then at the end, all your family and friends come and you perform to them. So my first gig, I was 18. My first ever gig was in front of like 300 people. Right, and now
pressure there.
No, exactly. So no, in stand up, normally your first gig is like open mic night in a pub with a fucking dog in the corner. You know what I mean? Like 10 people. You know what I mean? Mine was like a proper setup. And it was like 300 people, and then there was 12 people on the course, and you had to pick a number to get drawn out to see who was on first, and it was me, wasn't it?
So you opened up.
First on, 300 people, my first gig.
Roasties.
And I told this story about shitting me kecks on a date. I don't even know where it come from. Didn't happen. I promise you it didn't happen. So I told this story. It's on YouTube. Still my first ever gig. Can't believe I've just said that because people are going to see that now. I fucking got a tuxedo on. Got fucking bigger Lego head than I have now. Fucking just mad, mate. And I went down at see, you know, did it. It was really good, and you know that feeling you get when you do stand up. It's mad. Like it's like I was saying about the clubs, like, but this is totally different. 10 times more when you're on stage and you've got a crowd, you're making them laugh. It's like it's a better feeling than any drug you can think of. It's like it's just you just feel just
euphoric
like,
almost.
Oh, mate, like,
you can relate to that. I know you're not making people laugh.
I hope people aren't laughing.
Good, man. I know.
I'm stood there with a pair of knickers on, so I hope people aren't laughing at me. But
you know what I mean? Yeah. There's no better.
If you've grafted to look, where make it, or even with your own, like however you want to look at it, if you've worked to be as good as you can be, and you know you've perfected what it is you do, and you get up there's your chance, or you might have put 6 months of effort into that, and then there's your one chance. It might only be 5-10 minutes. Yeah. But right at that moment, everyone's focused on you. You're what people are there to see. And you make the most of that, and you do. Once you come off and you know you've smashed it, you give it all. Back
the adrenaline,
it's that appreciation as well. You know what I mean? To say like you're the guy. You know what I mean? It's nice to have that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think confidence as well, your self-esteem. So at that point, then, have you just got a little bug for it, or was it
then after that, I got a bug for it, and then I was doing all right, to be honest. I was going up and down the country doing star spots at big clubs. I was doing really well, but I was working also in the office as well. And I've moved jobs to an HR office, and I was at a gig in Birmingham, and I missed the last train home. I had to get like a night coach home, and I had like an hour's sleep, and I was in work at 9 the next day. Fell asleep on my desk in a HR office, didn't I? Got sacked the next day. Got brought into the office.
Disciplinary,
No, they just said it's not working out. You can either leave. And what did they say? You can either
resign or something.
You can either get sacked and get paid for a month, or you can leave yourself and not get paid. So they said to me in the HR office.
Well, sack me.
I just said I should leave. Just, you know what I mean? Because that won't be on my record. Then,
okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's fucking snides, aren't they? So if you're watching, fuck you.
But did that push you then to just
then after that, yeah, I was like, that's not me, that office game. Like, that office game's just like, it's just not who I am, you know what I mean? So I was still doing stand-up, tried up a little bit, it does, because there's lots of comics out there, there's lots of good ones, there's also lots of people just sign it. So
is the Hot Water Comedy Club started to open? Or
yeah, Hot Water Comedy just started. So I was working for them on, like, they were just an open mic night. Hot Water Comedy, it's massive. So you've seen their story, haven't you? It's fucking massive what they've done. Like, so I basically mastered my trade. That Hot Water Comedy was there every Sunday. There was only 30, 40 people in the crowd. Wasn't great, but because I was doing it all the time, that's when I started getting better and writing better and performing better. So
did you write your own material then, or did you go on and do a bit of improv as well with the crowd?
I write my own material, but I tend to write most of my best jokes while I'm on stage. So say if I'm talking about something, I'll go off on one, you know what I mean? And then after I go, oh yeah, that was good, and then, you know what I mean?
Go back and
that's what I tend to do,
Oh, that's sick.
But yeah, so I say, I was working with Hot Water a lot, dried up a little bit, and then I needed some money, and that's why I had a mate who worked in Igloo before it was Inc.
Yeah.
And he said, you'd be good PR, you know, like getting people in off the streets. Like, and I said yes, and then done that, and I was fucking shit out of that. So it was nice.
And the rest is history, is
rest is history, yeah.
So with everything drying up over the last, you know, we've already established the last 12 months, in terms of then that reflecting on yourself and taking that kind of journey to kind of realising, you know, taking a good look at yourself and not being so happy with the way you was and stuff.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest thing for your weight loss journey then for you?
I think, as I say, a couple of months ago, I just woke up and I was like, there's no better time to do this now, because I'm a really busy guy. Like, I've got no time for myself normally. So to have all that time and then to spend the first few days just blaming everyone and saying there's nothing I can do and being down, I just thought there's no best time to lose weight now. I know there's no gyms open that, but just started walking. I tried to run because I'm a big guy. I was getting injured a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I spoke to a few people and they said start walking. Started walking long distance, cleaned up my diet, drank a load of water, doing 4 litres in a day, every day, 4 or 5 litres a day.
Really? Wow.
And then after a week, it just felt great. It only took a week. I thought it'd take longer. After 1 week, it wasn't about losing anything. It was just mentally I'm
so glad I've just heard that, because people seem to want like results overnight,
instant gratification.
But to say that, you do feel like some people won't even give it that week. How many people say, we'll start on Monday and by Wednesday it's gone to shit?
It's because
to say you've done a full week.
What's that mentality?
And then stuck it out.
And I think also as well, because I've always been a big guy since I was a kid, I've tried to lose weight for other people. Maybe a bird fucking knocked me back and I've went, I'm going to try and lose weight. As it lasted 2 weeks, you can't do it for other people. I've learned that myself.
You've got to do
it for yourself,
bro.
You know what I mean?
That's so real, though, you know, because that's like a lot of things. That's not just weight, that's just mentality, full stop.
Yeah.
No matter how much you want to be with somebody, or no matter how much you want to impress somebody, like, the change has to start with you, for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's not even on a preachy vibe. That is just the reality.
You need to learn to love yourself before others, mate.
Jeez,
that's
what I say.
That's
twice in 2 weeks. Yeah, literally, we were talking last week. Yeah. And one of the guests that we had on, he was explaining the same sort of thing. He'd never been in love and stuff like that. And I kind of cut in with it's my mum's quote for me, really. But it's true.
It's totally
100%, man. So how have you find that then, the biggest transformation for you, other than just mentally now? Are you starting to see the benefits?
I've lost over 2 stone now in 5 weeks.
Yeah,
it's good. A big drop, like.
So if you don't mind asking, how big was you when did you have to jump on? Was it a daunting task getting on them scales for the first time?
Do you know what? When I went on the scales first time, it was fucking, it hurt, like, you know what I mean? Because I always had a rough number what I was, but I never weighed myself, or I wasn't really asked. When I seen it, I was like, fucking hell, it's scary, that. And it was a bit of a thing. Yeah, it took me back a little bit, doubting myself for like a few hours after it. And then something I've got this thing where something just keeps saying to me, just carry on, just do it. So that was quite tough. But and also over the years, I've tried to diet loads of times or whatever, and it's lasted no longer than 2 weeks. So now to get into 8-9 weeks, mate, I just know this is the time. No looking back. It's not just a time in my life to do it. It's the new me. It's the new way of living. That's what you've got to see it as. Instead of just saying, I'll just take that set amount of time and I'll put that aside for it. No, it's the new way of life. I've got to do this for every day for the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
I think
I'd be able to have little days off, but don't flip it around and have 6 bad days and 1 good day. You know, that's how you look at it. You know what I mean?
I think they say that as well. Like it takes, is it like 30 days to
make a habit? To make it on a habit.
Yeah,
is it?
And then it's like 90. It's 90 days to turn it into a lifestyle.
Oh, is
so
it?
You're well on the way.
So on my way.
You're well on your way to turning it into that lifestyle.
You know what? Sometimes I half regret thinking, why didn't I have this mentality a lot younger? You know what I mean? But
wasn't your time?
Everyone's on a different path, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Everything happens. Yeah, you've got to trust timing.
Yeah,
with that. It's obviously the right time.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
now for yourself.
Yeah,
definitely. So again, leading into a key motivator then, because as you said, you've struggled in the past where you'll do it for the wrong reasons. Potentially, you might do it with a girl, you might do it because you want to go on holiday or something like that.
Yeah.
What has helped you kind of stay motivated this time? That's changed it for you.
Yeah, I think, as I say, it was just that day when I woke up and like it was like a totally different mindset that I had, and it was like, you need to do it now because I think it was the time thing. It's because I don't get much time. So to have all this time now, I thought there's no better chance to do it now. So pushed on doing that, and then I've hit brick walls. I have fucked up still. I have partied still. You know what I mean, or whatever. And it's about getting up that next day and carrying on. Yeah. You know, when normally I'd be like, oh, I can't be arsed and order out or something. You know, you don't want to be eating fucking chicken and rice after you've just had been on the ale the next day. You know what I mean? Or, you know, that's what you want to have a fucking Mackies or something. You know what I mean? But it's just little things like that, and then the next day after you wake up, the day after you're hungover, you're back to it. You know, it's just all about, it's all mental, it's all doubting yourself. It's that demon, isn't it? That's always saying you're not good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to put, once you put it in the back of your mind, you're sound. You know what I mean? So, as I say, I'm not perfect now. I'm fucking nowhere near it. It's nowhere near where I want to be. But I'm just really glad to have the mentality at the moment. You know what I mean?
You seem like you got a lot of energy about you.
Yeah, I never used to be just dead like, whoa, do you know what I mean? But now I'm like, I'm thinking clearer, and I'm planning my days, and I'm researching foods and researching exercise, and then you hit brick walls, and that's where. Well, that's what I was
going to say. What's helped you get over this? Is it the walk that we're doing for charity at the minute? Because I know this is a big thing that you've got planned in the next couple of weeks. When are you doing that? Sorry again.
This Saturday, 17th April.
Saturday,
17th April. So I'm walking from...
What actually is it that you're doing?
I'm walking from Old Trafford Stadium to Anfield Stadium. It's 31 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, in the full day. Walking.
What time are you setting off?
I'm going to have 6 in the morning, 6 a.m, Going to need a rucksack, going to need lots of different things in the rucksack. I'm going to need foods, waters. It's about, you're going to burn about 7,000 calories.
Peanut butter.
Yeah. Now you just told me that, mate. Just a bag full of peanut butter, no water, just peanut butter. Me like that out down the motorway.
Are you going down the Lancs?
Yeah, down the Lancs. I planned the walk. I've researched what I have to wear. Even to be socks and everything, mate, you have to.
Really?
Because if you get blisters or you get injured, you're going to fail, aren't you? You know what I mean?
In terms of then, like the walks up to a big walk, so I've known marathon runners in the past where they'll never run a full marathon before the marathon, but they'll do, you
get close to it.
Yeah, they do like 9 miles, 18 miles, something like that. Are you doing something similar with the walking?
So from last week, I've been doing 10 miles now. I'm on 10 miles now a week, and when I wake up the next day, I'm feeling all right. Not feeling, it's a struggle mentally as well. That's a long walk, 10 miles, you know what I mean?
And how long does that take you at the minute?
3 hours now.
3 hours?
Yeah, so I should be able to do it in 9-10 hours. But with the break and stuff like that, I'll be closer to 11-12. But I'm doing 10 miles now, and then after it, I'm feeling okay. Next day, I'm a little bit sore, obviously, because of my weight. The best thing I need to do is trim down as much as I can. Yeah. The less weight I have, the better chance, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So I need to try and lose as much as I can before the walk, and then on that walk, from next week, I'm gonna move it up to 15 miles.
Yeah.
Then I want to do 20, and I'll probably just, maybe that's the biggest one, 20 maybe.
Miles,
because I wouldn't want to get injured or something now, you know what I mean? I'd rather get injured on the walk, I would. So at least I'll do it, you know what I mean?
So what was the thinking behind the charity that you're going to do it for then? Zoe's place?
It's a local charity, Zoe's Place by mine in West Derby, and it's a baby's hospice, and they do really good work, with kids that aren't well. So these babies' hospices, as I say, done my first one for Clear House, and it's always places. These babies, I just think they're brilliant charities, and with this whole pandemic stuff, I'm suffering myself financially, you know, but these charities doing brilliant work, life-saving work, and they've been hit massively by it as well also. So I just thought, you know, if there's something I can do, and, you know, and I'm on target for what I wanted, but I do want more. So
yeah, what was your target?
I just put up for $2,000 on thingy. I'm about 1,500 quid now, and there's still 2 months left. So,
and what was the initial target point? Go and tell us about that the other day.
Which one?
That came out when you hit $1,000.
I don't know what. So what happened was I was on about 980 quid. I know 920 quid on just giving, and I said on Instagram or something like, donate now. If it gets to $1,000 today, I'll do the last mile topless, yeah. So
you did it, didn't you?
Well, so we made sure, I was telling my mate Sean, Myers, DJ, and I was telling him on the phone, I said, lad, if it gets to over $1,000 today, I'll do it topless. Next minute, he fucking donates 80 quid straight away. Puts it over $1,000, rings me back and says, oh, by the way, I've ordered Conor McGregor stick-on tattoos. You have to wear them for the last mile as well. So I'm going to be walking down with McGregor here with a big fucking lion on my belly. Walking down Anfield Road.
That last mile?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fucking brilliant.
I've got to do it now, haven't I?
Yeah.
You're at it, you bringing that up. I was trying to not get that out everywhere.
No, definitely. I think that's something, it's to spare you on though as well, do you know what I mean?
I have a laugh, mate. I'm not really asked about what people think.
I think if you're at that last mile and you're in a position to whip your top off, so
mate, you know I'll do it, don't you? You know I'll do it.
100%.
And it's going to be hilarious as well.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
I think that, I mean, in terms of charitable causes, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, there's
so many good ones though, isn't he? And you half feel it come when you pick one. You're like, oh, what about others? You know what I mean? But as I say, the work that they do is brilliant. You know what I mean? There's, you know, most charities and 99% of them are fantastic. You know what I mean? But this one's close to my heart, so I just thought it's a nice thing to do. And I hopefully raise the loads of dough.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then for yourself, then after that, is it just once you know you've done that, it's like
it's going to be another stadium walk, isn't it? After that, I reckon.
Yeah, you won't stop at that.
Yeah.
There'll be something else.
There will be something else.
I thought you would have started it good to
Anfield. I said that the other day. I said that. I know. Yeah. So as I say, it was not a selfish thing to do, but it was. I was hitting brick walls and I needed something to motivate me. And this is going to be a lot of training involved, which is going to, and I don't want to let people down. So it's a win-win for me, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think it's a very commendable thing to do, because when I seen it on your Instagram, I was like, raw. And because I know you as well, do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, Tony's a big lad. That's a challenge, you know what I mean? Like, I'd struggled doing that shit, and I struggled doing Snowden. Like,
I was just going to say,
go on.
This time, we goes with Snowden in the night. Yeah. And about...
In the night?
Yeah, you wanted to do it a night walk on Snowden.
That was boss.
No, that's why.
Yeah. Going on past your walk.
Shits and giggles for his birthday.
Yeah. So we are about half an hour in now. And all you can hear is, boys, where are you? Now his eyesight's not the best. We lost him. He couldn't see us. We having to wait till they stopped, ate our food and everything. And then he just about caught up and was like, boys, I'm fucked. Now we've sat down for 5 minutes, ate him, we're like, lad, we're carrying on again. Yeah. So we lost him again. And then he caught us up again.
I may as well have walked up and down Snowden on my own.
We were like, fuck it, lads, you're on your own. Look, there's the top when we left him, but he done the last...
Like half an hour, an hour.
Did you?
Mate, even for me, that was probably the heaviest I had been in my own self ever. You know what I mean? And it was a shock, because in my own life, I was like, again, for me, I was like 14 and a half stone at this point, and it wasn't looking good on me either. So on my mind, I'm thinking, I've never been like that else. So how have I let myself go in it? Like, I'd still play footy, Astros and that, do you know what I mean? 6 and 8 aside. Yeah. But to then go and do that type of walk, I know we've done Moat in the past, and it's not the same, do you know what I mean? But that to me was a big shock to the system, you know?
As I say, I've got just under 2 months now, and I'm going to have to be on it 24/7 now before the big event. You know what I mean? So there's going to be lots of work. So looking forward to it though. I'm getting more game than ever, so...
It's right.
So I'm happy. I'm happy I've got it to work towards, because I wouldn't want to let anyone down, and I'm that kind of person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
So I don't want to look like a tit either. You know what I mean? Like getting the bus back.
Well, this is what I was going to say to you as well, then, because he said he was doing the last mile topless. Do you ever remember that time?
I know. Go on.
Go on. If you know what I'm going to say, go on.
We sat on a bus and someone dared them to get off the ride.
No. So yeah, it was the same thing, but it was from Netherley. Wasn't we all at Netherley? And we decided that we was going to go back on the 79, but run from Netherley to the 5 ways in our boxies.
No.
What going on?
He's fully just pipes on. What it was, we're actually on the high street. And he goes, boys, will you hold me clothes if I get off and run to the next stop naked? On the high street. So next thing, Errol stood at the front of the bus in a pair of boxies and a pair of Adidas Super. I remember it in my head. A pair of white Adidas Superstars and a pair of boxies in the middle of the summer. And he jumped off and the whole bus was laughing and he missed the stop, so he ran 2 bus stops past Picton Clock onto Chilwell Road.
Did you? No, I wasn't the only one though, because
you were.
No, bro, we done the one backwards from Netherley as well as that. So we'll have done 2.
I don't remember that, but you... It's weird if it's like this is a thing we do. We get naked.
Yeah, just think about what you and your mates get up to.
The one that we know definitely happened. You done it on the high street, and it was just you. And we thought it was
That's
funny.
his way to admit himself from the story. But go on, yeah, I'll take the L on that one. Nice one, Marcy.
I'm not getting naked on this last walk. That's not happening with me.
What if we get you to 5k? Yeah.
Get me to $5,000 and I'll do it in SpongeBob undies, mate. I promise you.
You heard
it here first.
5k SpongeBob boxes. Go on, Sal. So again, just touching on some of the bigger issues for you, Marcel, at the minute. Your controversy. Go on, hit us with it.
My moan of the week.
Yeah, your moan of the week.
There should be a thing, Marcel. There's always something. My moan of the week at the minute is having my own goals that I'm working towards being pushed back. Now, I partake in a non-contact sport. Why is it being pushed back? Nothing that's taking place now should really affect it. I don't know, it all comes down to money, but 40 players, that's like the big one for 40 players. Well, wait, a lot of sports, all sports that involve full contact can go ahead as normal because there's money involved. Yeah. Now, my little sport there in the corner that doesn't generate anywhere near, and we can't get on stage in a non-contact sport.
Isn't that a lesson to say?
Pisses me off.
Isn't that a lesson to say you should have been a rugby player then?
Do you know why that is though?
It's a bit late now.
Because these events that you take part in, they don't donate to the Tory party, that's why.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
It's exactly what it is. It's all politics. It's all down to money.
But that's Marcel's moan. It could be, we need to make that a thing. Marcel's moan of the week.
Moan of the week.
Do you know if you could emigrate somewhere now and move somewhere, where would you go? Where do you like where the country's run at the moment?
Oh, at the moment?
Yeah.
See, if I had the means to get by very initially, I don't know, you can relate with on this, I'd probably go to Dubai. Dubai at the minute seems to be like the place where all the fitness names go.
Yeah.
It's not somewhere I have ever considered going.
Yeah.
But at the minute, it seems to be like the little bit of a...
it seems quite pretentious to me. Like, I wouldn't really go, but...
From speaking to people, it's what you want to make of it.
Yeah.
So if you want to go over there and pretend you're balling, because let's face it, most people from over here are pretending to be balling when they go over there.
Yeah.
Then, very expensive, and you probably find a week into it, you're out of money, and it's like a flight home and now stay in a quarantine hotel. If you want to go over and live as your normal modest self...
Yeah.
Then apparently it's not
as...
It's attainable.
It's doable.
I like New Zealand, mate. That looks fucking sound, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I always said, like, either, like, in terms of getting the balance of England and having that sort of, like, Western...
You're talking about right now, though.
Like, right, but that's the thing. In normal times, it would have been Canada. Right now...
Yeah,
because it's like the balance between... You go to the right side and you can go and travel into New York and go to America in a day's trip. And go back to Canada, and it's a little bit more chilled. Plus, they're a little bit more like us. But then at the flip side, in terms of like lifestyle and what I'd want for myself, I always say Jamaica, just to be able to go relocate back to Ireland and just have a little plot of land.
Be nice, that wouldn't it?
Where you can have...
Do you know what? I'm going to take us way back to the beginning. I'd go somewhere like Jamaica. If there was an apocalypse, I'd live off the land. I'd be by the sea, even though I fucking hate water. But I'd take it in. I'd have good weather. I could live off the fresh produce, and I'd be happy. Yeah. I'd be content.
You're in Jamaica. I'm in fucking Radio City with Darren G like that. Sums our lives.
We like what we like.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Well, I think on that note, I think that perfectly sums up where we started today. So, Tony, thank you very much for coming down, man.
I'd just like to say as well, if anyone would like to donate as little or as much, you know, there's no wrong number, you know what I mean? There's nothing too less. If you've got it, if you're in that position, then please donate to a good cause. It's just giving Tony Carroll Stadium Walk, or it's on my bio in my Instagram. Yeah,
we'll put that on the link.
Nice one, boys. Well, yeah,
so nice one for coming down. I think it is a very commendable cause that you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Keep us posted. We'll let you know. Let us know how you get on. We'll share it with the group chats.
Yes, and if anyone wants to see me topless, then it'll be on Instagram, won't it?
Or more than topless, donating on the TK.